friends, it's Nancy, and I'm back with another flip through. I feel like I've been sort of secretive about this journal. I don't think I've posted any videos of what I've been working on. I did post a little bit on Instagram, but not on YouTube. Anyway, this is my next journal. It is 7 5/8 tall and just a little over 5 inches wide. Has a 2-inch spine. The fabric that I used to cover the spine and the inside of the journal is a reproduction William Morris fabric. I've added lots of handmade lace, little book plate there. And this picture, I'll bring it up closer, has a group of little girls having a tea party with their dolls. So, the actual theme, if there, oh, I just hit the camera. If there is a theme for this journal, it was inspired by a book I recently picked up about Beatrix Potter. Learned a lot about her, and it was filled with lots of nice pictures and illustrations that she drew and information about her family and her career. So that was the inspiration for this journal. Now, if I have my facts correctly, her first book was published at the turn of the century, the 20th century. So this book sort of dates to the same basic time, although I can't remember now what it dated to. Anyway, so I have covered the inside with fabric, as I said, and I made this little pocket here out of a piece of doily that I tea-dyed, actually I coffee-dyed, and I added this little charm that came from a necklace, and I chose this charm because it looked very Edwardian to me. It sort of looks like marcasite, but I'm not sure. And I put this book plate in here. These two little tags came from a kit to make a mobile. So I just cut them out, inked up their sides, the edges, and put an eyelet through the top and strung some vintage silk ribbon at the top. So here's an early picture of Beatrix Potter. She had a real passion for animals and had many pets from childhood. So I just layered up a little collage from Peter Rabbit. And this is a snippet that says, "And don't get into mischief." And that's what the mother rabbit said to Peter before she sent him on his way. Vintage lace on the edge here. Some ledger page. This came from a book about the mounted police, actually. And it had some vintage looking advertisements in it. Journal page. This is a book from a copy of Squirrel Nutkin, but this is a French copy, so the pictures are the same, but the text is actually in French. So there's Squirrel Nutkin. This is a piece of parchment paper. So if you wanted to put a little something in there, that's some space for that. Piece of music. And I chose songs that had some themes of hiking and being out in nature and animals, birds. So there's 10 signatures, total of 280 pages. A lot of them are blank. This is mostly our writing journal. There's some limited embellishment, and we'll come to that. This page is a flyleaf from a book about Peter Rabbit. And here's an illustration of Beatrix Potter. This is at her house at Hilltop? And an illustration of a cat that she drew, and some vintage lace that I sort of fussy cut around. Some tea-dye paper, guest book. Here's a picture when Beatrix Potter was somewhat older. Again, I made a little collage of a picture of an illustration of the bunnies. Here's some of that French text from Squirrel Nutkin. Another piece of parchment paper. Here's some stationery. Next signature. There's a title page for Squirrel Nutkin. Ledger. This is tea-dyed. Some more French text. There's a little tuck spot. And this is a photograph of Beatrix Potter with her rabbit. The rabbit's name was Benjamin Bounce. And he was a rabbit of great character. Some craft colored paper. This is a page from a book about Victorian oh, it's never going to come to me, so I will just carry on. Here's some music paper. Here's another little illustration. That's Beatrix Potter here. A series of adventures. And I just added this little picture of Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. There's another one with Squirrel Nutkin. Another photograph of Beatrix Potter. And I've put this little fussy cut of Squirrel Nutkin down there. This is a page from a book about birds. Ledger. This is from a stamp collecting book. Some tea-dyed paper. This is a page from a book with Asian text. An inventory ledger sheet. Another photograph of Beatrix Potter and an illustration of one of her characters. Here she is again with a couple of her dogs. She was an author, an artist, diarist, farmer, and conservationist. So in her in her later life, let's say, she bought a lot of property and wanted to conserve a way of life in the Lake District of England, and donated the land to the National Trust. Some paper from an old composition workbook. Edith Holden page. Another photograph when she was a younger person. Another picture of Beatrix Potter with her dog. And I think these are girl guides. And here is her house that she bought in the Lake District. It says a safe, quiet spot. This is a tuck spot. This is a page from a children's book about the homes of England. Or that's what the poem is about there. And here I've added a page from a vintage stamp stock book, and I have included a lot of vintage stamps that have pictures of animals that Beatrix Potter wrote about. So there's some kittens and a squirrel, rabbits for sure. There's a hedgehog down here. There's a frog up there. Jeremy. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten Jeremy's name. Here's another rabbit. So I have I've just put this page in here, and I'm attached it with this rusty clip with some silk ribbon. And the final page, this is a library pocket that came in a book about Jemima Puddle Duck. And this is actually a line from Squirrel Nutkin. This looks like the end of the story, but it isn't. I've got a tea-dyed library card in there. And here I've got another piece of a necklace. And again, it has these little stones. It looks like marcasite. And 2 more tags from the kit to make a mobile. So, I'll just show you this. It has 10 signatures. It's a hidden hollowback spine. I put some vintage lace that I coffee dyed in the back, top and bottom. Lots and lots of space here, and still lots of space to put more memorabilia or ephemera. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If this is a video that you're interested in purchasing, it has been listed on Etsy. Come back again soon and we will do some more crafting. Thanks so much. Take care.